Hi, welcome to Guerra Guerra, and we are bridging the gap here. We're going to be discussing our first case study. This case study, titled number 1, is The Missing Link, and it's financial literacy in schools. So that's what our course is doing, trying to address this problem. So we figured we'd make this the first case study. But imagine graduating high school without ever learning how to balance a checkbook, understand your credit score, or plan for retirement. This is the reality for generations of Americans until recently. We talked about in our last podcast about Governor DeSantis and what's going on with that. But looking at this, the reality for generations of Americans didn't get any of this, how to navigate their adult life, if you will. Financial literacy has been very largely important in the United States and lacking in the American education system for decades now.
So how do we ensure that financial literacy is taught in these schools across America, regardless of locations or resources?
That is a great question. Could we be a little more specific?
Well, how can we establish consistent financial literacy standards across all these states, like ensuring that the students can receive comparable education regardless of where they live?
Well, that's an excellent question. And what I'm finding is something very similar to what I did in technology. For many years, it was tough to get a teacher into the classroom that was going to teach technology because teachers are making, let's just say $20 an hour, okay, just to pull out a number. Whereas that particular occupation of technology was paying closer to $40 an hour. So why would somebody who knows how to do this technology come out of their field, go into teaching for half the price, okay, or for half the cost? And that's basically what I'm seeing that, potentially this financial literacy might be having a problem with. So again, how do we solve this problem? Let's take a little look.
Well, I guess that leads to another question I kind of have is ensuring that financial literacy can be taught effectively and with the fidelity that's needed for all these classrooms, ensuring teachers have the necessary training and resources to deliver these high quality instructions.
Again, I think it's a difficult question, but I think it has to go back with, first of all, training. We have to train the teachers and make sure that they have the knowledge, skill set, resources to be able to deliver this particular program.
And so what problems are basically stopping them from doing this? Why isn't this something that has been in those education curriculum for a while?
Well, the lack of education in schools has contributed to a widespread of financial literacy crisis in the United States. Many adults are struggling with basic money management, falling victim to predatory lending, the credit cards, and accumulating significant debt. And the lack of knowledge has rippled effect, impacting individuals, families, over the whole economy. And that's why we used to kind of make fun of the people greeters at Walmart, that they were always retirees that couldn't afford to retire. That's why they had to get a job at Walmart. But again, there's a lot of obstacles. Let's dive a little deeper into this.
Yeah, what are some of the obstacles that are needed for dealing with this? Because financial literacy the need for it is evident, basically. There's numerous hurdles that have prevented it from widespread integration, obviously. So, any ideas what those are?
Well, first of all, let's address curriculum overload. Schools already have, grappling with schedules, making it difficult to add new subjects and sacrificing other ones. So what they're looking to do in many of the states right now is they're looking to take financial literacy and not put it into a CTE, a career and technical education, which would be an elective, but they're putting it into history. They're putting into something that you have to take. So many states right now are saying that you have to take a financial literacy course before you graduate.
I thought it was social studies. Or is history also social studies?
They are the same thing. So yes, as far as history, so social studies, yes. The second would be teacher preparedness. Again, when we're trying to bring a new topic into the school, we have to get teachers prepared. Even the best intentions, teachers have to take time out of their schedule. They have to take, summer school. So sometimes there's a year or two involved before we can even get these kind of prerequisites for teachers involved. And then there's state level variations. The U.S. education system decentralized nature means that states have basically considered autonomy and set the curriculum standard. So it's not, again, as our current administration is trying to do, allowing states to dictate what happens as opposed to a national policy. Now, I'm not sure that's good or bad, but I think having a uniform curriculum across the states, at least for something like this, might be beneficial.
So it's currently more of a state issue on financial literacy not getting into education because it's up to the states and they're the ones dropping the ball.
It is at the moment, but now the states are stepping up. And literally, I believe half, at least 25 to 26 states, as of 2025, 2026 calendar school year, are mandating that their students need to take a financial literacy course before they graduate.
That's good to hear, at least. But moving forward, so it's the state level stuff. Like, what about philosophical things? Could potentially, like, ongoing debates about the role of schools in teaching personal finances. Apparently, like, people are arguing that there's the responsibility of, like, the families.
No. Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, they had said that about sex education a long time ago, and that was put into schools. So, what are we looking for? Responsible families, while others believe that schools, should play a crucial role in providing this financial education for students to be financially independent.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's kind of a pardon, but it's kind of dumb to try to debate that because especially if the parents don't know how to manage their finances, how are they going to teach their kids to do it? So that's an infinite loop there if nothing is teaching it. So
yeah,
that's obviously coming from somebody who's been taught that by their family and think everybody knows it.
Yes, the resistance and the things that come along with that, introducing any new subjects into an established system can be very challenging. Overcoming the inertia and resistance of educators, administrators, and even parents can be a significant obstacle.
Probably the administrators. I'm not sure what parents would be mad that their kids are learning how to manage a checkbook.
True.
Except for impacting their ego if they don't know how to do it.
So, again, talking about the recent progress and hopefully looking to a brighter future. Again, some of these challenges have been addressed a few years back here in the state of Florida with our Governor DeSantis that I think kind of kicked things off. And when I read that, and I did read the bylaws that they had put into place, and it was, okay, be a good employee and pay your taxes and do that, I rewrote the course. And that's the course that I wrote called Financial Mastery. Well, Seth and I wrote it, Financial Mastery, giving you the opportunity to become an entrepreneur, understanding how to leverage wealth and how to plan for your future, not just be a good employee and pay your taxes, which was the bylaws that I read that were set by the state of Florida for, again, do you know how to balance a checkbook? Well, that's great, but do you know how to do your taxes as a business? I would rather teach you that than how to balance a checkbook. So many different things that we look at here. We've got government initiatives that are coming into play. The FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, again, is looking at putting different courses. And on my website, I actually have a link to a government course. So you don't have to pay for mine until we can get that for free. State level leadership. There's several states that I just noted to that are instituting federal and or instituting education, not at the federal level. And then private sectors, banks, investment firms, nonprofits. These are some of the organizations that we've gone after and partnered with as we're trying to bring our exam to the state to become a industry certification for financial literacy titled Financial Mastery. And that looks to be the first one for a freshman in high school to take as they would graduate to a sophomore, junior, and then senior year. Potentially obtaining other industry licenses like life insurance, like your securities exam, like a mortgage license. And so these are the building blocks that I'd like to put into place for high schoolers so they could hit the ground running once they graduated high school into their own business of financial mastery, financial acumen, financial services.
Yeah.
And so go ahead and let's ask, what is technology's role in this?
Probably, online learning tools like where we built our course using UCertify and other educational technology companies that their whole thing is building and developing innovative tools and curriculums. Curriculums like to make these things like financial literacy a lot more accessible. There's organizations like CIW or UCertify and certification partners are all creating specialized courses and exams to validate students' financial knowledge, and we are partnered with UCertify and certification partners.
And now, unfortunately, the sad thing is 90 some odd percent of individuals who start an online course never finish it. And that's why I tried to make our course a little different, engaging with superheroes, engaging with people you want to talk with the tools, with the resources, with actionable steps that aren't just stagnant environment in a classroom. They're actually real world. So you can actually do these things and improve your financial acumen. You want to give us a little summary of our, what is this?
Our
Case
session?
study? Yeah, well, this is case study number 1. Yeah.
Basically, the main summary is, historically speaking, a lot of people have been lacking financial literacy because it's not been baked into our education for the school systems. Now, I can't speak for outside of America, but yeah, it's created a significant wealth gap and a knowledge gap for preparing students in real-world financial challenges. That's why so many people are suffering from debt, from credit card debts, or just a lot of things, because they don't know what to do about it, because they were never taught this, and they're all learning the hard way.
It is. And in courses like ours, this is the crucial step in getting towards empowering yourself, your students, and others. And if you're interested in getting into financial services and helping others, let us know. We can help you with that. But yeah, well-being and building a secure future is what we're about, and getting the tools to do it. So we'd like to hear your opinion on this. Did you get any financial education when you were in school? And would you like to have some more now?
This has been Guerra Guerra. See you next week.